10 seconds remaining.
It's the Pasha Venge. Yeah.
5 seconds
do it.
remaining.
Let's do it.
When they have that hero.
I think he does now. You mentioned it. Yeah. I mean,
Shioma.
Prepare
yeah.
for
This
battle.
makes sense. And Mag, you know, he's the man with the micro with his Beastmaster and stuff. So he's good. Give him a bigger bear. Step him up from the wild boar to the Kung Fu Panda, as he has named here. Let's see how Kung Fu Panda does here on the lane, and I mean, you yourself, you would rather have seen the safe lane let LD. You're not still kind of on this safe lane Venge hype that we've had since the summit?
It's not that it's bad. I just feel like in this kind of game, what I think Vega would want is the 1v1 Lone Druid versus Darkseer, and no matter who plays the Lone Druid, like that lane's irrelevant. As long as the person can play the hero, they can get that matchup and be fine with it. That's the only reason I didn't think that Pasha would be playing the Venge, because that hero is more lane dependent. But the Lone Druid can pretty much do anything he wants, so I guess in that case Mag is maybe the more experienced player in the 1v1. Maybe not necessarily tailoring to the Lone Druid itself, but the lane that he's gonna get.
We saw Smoke up there, seeing if they could get themselves in a position to jump Empire, but Empire, they did head up for the top room, so we're not going to see a clash at the moment. They did get a ward down, but again at the same time there was already an Empire ward around here, so they know that Vega's made this movement.
By the way, Pasha looks fancy as fuck
The battle
with his
begins.
Venge set.
It's got a beautiful set.
I don't think I've ever seen that set before, actually.
It's very nice.
Looks clowny. Alright. So, yep, 1v1, DS versus Lone Druid. Both heroes kind of farm. I think Lone Druid gets the advantage eventually. Once he gets 5, maybe you can get a lucky entangle into a gank. Otherwise, Funnick's just going to be like shoving the creep wave into the tower 24/7.
Okay, I mean the other lanes, Resolution DP. We're starting to see DP a little bit more nowadays, and mid lane, we know that she's a strong laner. How does she go up against an Invoker?
I think what we saw yesterday, similar matchup when Fata was playing Death Prophet, he still did very well. Oh, it was against an OD, I want to say, right? That's what he was laning against in that game. And OD's a pretty strong laner as of right now. So I would imagine he's going to hold his own just fine.
Now finally the bottom lane have Vorst. He's got the backup of both of the supports. And at the same time, he's going head to head with this tri lane. And it is a strong, aggressive tri lane. Now, Vega do have kill potential, but at the same time, with an Oracle and a Bane, Empire certainly have the saves if necessary.
Yeah, it's going to be really key, the timing on the Oracle. Like, if he can get the Fate's Edict off to stop the incoming magic damage in the Suns, I think they can very easily turn it. But if he misplays or he's not there, and they snowball into a healing wave, then that hero can die very, very quickly. Just have to be very conscious of that.
Top lane, as you said, we saw earlier, Funnick did just run in and get a fair bit of harassment onto Mag, but 6 for 2, 3 for 1. Darkseer has got the edge in the moment, and we can see Funnick just go straight past. Gives a punch there to Lone Druid himself, and the Barretts is also taking a significant amount of damage here from the Iron Shells.
Yeah, it's like this in the early game against most heroes when you're playing against the DS. He just shoves the wave super hard. The nice thing about the Lone Druid is that he can just resummon the bear if it gets low, and the cooldown's only 2 minutes now, so it's not completely horrible. And again, if he gets a lucky entangle at 5, he could actually get a kill.
And Funnick he has no fear here.
Yeah, he was just trying to get him to resummon. It's a win for him if he can do that, and actually we're going to be missing the first blood.
Nah, I got it. Don't worry.
Oh, you got it.
We have the camera on it.
Nice. No T-Tours. So Shioma dies?
Yeah, set it up with a Nightmare, and there was a Sunstrike from Resolution to contribute.
Nice.
So easy catch there for the guys, and of course something that we do need to note, the fact that on this bottom lane, yeah, with Vega, they might try and go for something, but if you get Nightmare, there's a huge turnaround potential with a Gyro in the lane, and of course an Invoker just being on the map.
They got double range heroes though,
yeah.
So that combo shouldn't really...
Yeah, I guess.
It shouldn't happen too often. The only way that happens is if one of the heroes is way too far away from the others to get woken up. Otherwise, it's just like, you know, Nightmare into Arrow. You just A-click the guy so he can move. Oh, no one. Oh! That was really close.
You might turn it here.
Yeah, he doesn't have any mana left though.
Ooh. This is, I mean, the matchup in the mid, 10 for 6, 9 for 5, I think it's as close as we kind of expected. Death Prophet certainly proving her strength against the Invoker, but Invoker still especially with the 2 points in Exhort having that CS capability.
Yeah, this hero got way better in lane with the addition of Soul Siphon and integrating Witchcraft into her base skill set. Like 310 movement speed, Jesus. It used to be 280, I want to say, at level 1? Or 285 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you were saying the other day how it stepped up by quite a margin. Obviously to counter the fact that her, she no longer has the passive that grants her extra movement speed.
Yeah,
so,
and even
better at the start, weak at the end.
At early level, it's way better, yeah.
Yeah.
And looks like rune camping being done here by both teams. Oh, actually, no one's gonna get a double rune. That's really good for him. That means that he can pretty much come back to lane, has almost full mana, double damage. It's a pretty big deal, especially when no one is roaming. That's the biggest thing. Since this lane is pretty much going to be static, if you can have the rune control like that, get really high impact laning runes, it helps you tremendously, especially on a hero who needs that good early game. Okay, Resolution's getting a regen. Alright. OS Frog.
Regeneration.
Top lane, Phonic continues to get the creeps, but LD's doing quite well in terms of getting the farm under the tower.
Radiant's
We're 26 for 4, so Lone Druid's still going to get everything that he needs here. So in that sense, this lane, pretty much a bit of a wash. Both teams are finding the farm on top.
Yeah, it's pretty much as we expected.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to go mess with Phonic, like cutting creeps. There's not really any point for him to do so. The bear is tanky enough, has a stout shield, 5 armor, and 2300 health. It's gonna be ages before that thing has to be resummoned, but he can just do it on cooldown too. If he doesn't want to send it back to base, then he just resummons instead.
Mid lane, no one still continues to keep the pressure on. 24 to 12, 19 for 7, breaking away a little bit in terms of the last hits, but it's only slightly into Vorst on this bottom lane. 22 for 3 is farming just that little bit better here than Pasha's Venge, but again, it's still very close, early days in. And I mean, at the moment, it's really hard to kind of call who's coming out on top of this laning stage. Obviously, the fact that Empire did get that first blood gives them that slight edge, but very, very close at the moment between the two sides.
I think if anything, we can take away from the early game that Empire have a slight advantage in that their fighting will come online earlier. Because Havos is about to be 5. He's going to have call down at his disposal. Lone Druid isn't really like scary or anything until he gets like a phase boots and Orb of Venom and maybe some attack speed on the bear, or if he wants to go for Radiance, right? So with that said, the only thing that Empire really have to worry about in the 5v5 is the Death Prophet, at least for a little while.
And
I think they're going to be good.
And she's going to look very active here. There's the setup, the Nightmare does come through, but the snowball across, stunning both of them. No one with the Crypt Swarm and the Spirit Siphon gets one. They'll get themselves a second one, or will they? No Fear pops the 6 charges. Might just be enough. No, Crypt Swarm will catch him. They'll get a kill. Double kill, in fact, for no one. And meanwhile, Darkseer actually ends up dying on the top lane to the Lone Druid. So Lone Druid getting a solo kill there on Phonic whilst that action was going on down bottom. So great bit of momentum there for Vega suddenly happening in the last minute.
Root gaming, man. That's what I was saying. Sometimes you get unlucky and you can die to that hero, especially if you're doing what Phonic was, which was creep cutting all the time. Because you're not going to be at a very high amount of HP if you're just doing that constantly, unless you buy like Vanguard, which obviously Phonic wouldn't do that because he wants a mech. And the tower, bottom lane, going to be dropping as a result. No real lane pressure being applied anywhere but mid right now from the side of Empire. And I think Resolution... He is still quite far away from the -2.
Needs to be a bit careful. Magic Missile comes through. They do need to try and find an entanglement if they want the kill, but the Surge will be off and Phoenix out. Unless Mag wants to try. No, he's not going to go for it. Just a little bit too deep, and a TP was coming through. Does get cancelled. Was just going to be there in case Mag did decide to die, but plays it safe.
I guess there's no reason to risk it when you've already pretty much won your lane. That solo kill is pretty big. I mean, it shouldn't really happen on paper, but every once in a while you just get the RNG, get a couple of Admiral Bulldogs and the guy and he's a goner. But it's still good news for Vega. The early game is still really, really close though. It just depends on when that gyro finally comes online, hits 6, and they can just start taking team fights. I think their mech timing is actually going to coincide with Havos 6 pretty nicely. He's about half a level away, and Phonic is only 270 gold away from the mech being complete. And then you got your back wall, even though it's not like super high level right now, you can still hit like a couple of people with it.
Dire's top tower
and then you can go onto the call down, and hopefully the mech can offset the difference in teamfight potential.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's as you said, when they get those timings, Empire are going to be able to deal much better with the pushes, which will come in there. You know, Vega, no one, he's got the exorcism back online, working towards that Yule Scepter. But there's going to be a point shortly where we'll expect to see Vega group back up and try and go for it. The build on Lone Druid, he's got 1600. I imagine this is going to be the Midas into Radiance that we've pretty much seen Lone Druid go every game that we've watched, haven't we? In these qualifiers that we've casted.
Yeah, most of the time. It's usually Midas Radiance, or depending on how good of a game the Lone Druid is having, you could also just go Naked Radiance. I'm not sure if Mag is contemplating that, but it wouldn't be bad, because the earlier the Radiance, the more impactful it is, especially when you're in team fights, or if you want to just use the Bear to idly push out lanes. So we'll see what he opts for. They are starting to give Pasha some different farm priority though. Just realizing that Mag probably doesn't need the safe lane anymore, given that he won it pretty hard, and now he's level 9. So just making sure that Pasha can get back on his feet.
And this is the timing that you're talking about. Funnick gets the mech. He's actually going to go straight back up top. There are 2 heroes here, but he's going to feel a little bit safer as he's surging in. And yeah, the pings come out. I think he did realise that Tusk was there on the sidelines, so he'll be careful not to just clear up this camp instead. Tusk throwing out the shards. It's going to be a very hard kill to get. A level 8 Darkseer with mech. They'll throw down the stun nonetheless. Going to give it a shot. He's still got the surge and he's still got the mech. In fact, Funnick just turns, drops down the wall, surges and says, "You want to kill me? I'm going to turn around and kill you." Pasha swapping Sherma back into it. There is a Death Prophet coming in and the Crypt Swarm will finish him off. The Sunstrike, it comes down. They are going to find one and out. They're trying to fall, but the Spirit Siphon from the Death Prophet is too much. Perforce turns over the cooldown, but it doesn't matter. He can't fight into this Death Prophet. And it ends up being a 2-for-1. Vega dealing very well with this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Funnick not expecting the Crypt Swarm to their face there. It looked to be a nice potential turnaround for the Darkseer, but Vega was just on top of Empire there.
He used all his mana, Owen. He didn't have mana to mech. He used all his spells and he couldn't mech anymore. And if he popped Soul Ring, he was gonna die anyway, so... Oh well, Aloha Dance mid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
False promise though. That should be enough to keep him alive, and in fact Funnick is trying to do his best to turn, but Shone was there.
Oh, I still killed him.
Oh, what? He didn't heal up?
He only had 1 point into Fate's Edict, so he could only cast 1 Purifying Flames.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
Alright, rip Oracle. And another kill for Vega. Vega 6 for 2. Things are certainly starting to step up and certainly seem to be favouring the boys on the Dire.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. There seems to be a lot of mechanical mistakes going on this game, like Funnick solo dying, and then like him going back up top lane, using all his mana, not having the mana for mech. That like those kind of mistakes you can't make when you're playing against a team the caliber of Vega. So hopefully they can kind of shape up a little bit during this early mid game and get some big team fights going off the back of their Gyrocopter and Darkseer combos.
Yes, that is the one thing we've got to bear in mind. They do have that one-by combo potential. And yeah, one big team fight could certainly turn around the advantage that they've given to Vegas so far. In fact, we'll have a look over to the net worth. How are we looking? It's, yeah, the Lone Druid looking the scary one at the moment. And indeed, the Midas on the Bear, 1300 gold on his way towards what we'd imagine to be that Radiance. But Empire is going to look to fight here with Resolution. You've got a smoke up from the 3 of them. And let's see who they can catch out. No Fear wanting to lead the way. It's Dazzle and Venge at the moment, but it looks like they realise that something's going on. People are off the map, and it's going to be hard for Empire to find anything here if they could play like this, and they will. Empire realise they aren't going to get any kills. They'll reveal themselves, and they'll try and go for a push here with Resolution's double Forge Spirit that's now online.
Yeah, it's kind of a big tell when one of the cores are missing from Empire. Because unlike a lot of team compositions, the cores are actually necessary in the early game just to be able to fight, because Empire lack control without the Bane being level 6. Like, they don't even have Fiend Script yet. So as soon as Resolution goes MIA, Vega's just like, alright, something's up. We're probably going to get ganked or something. So it's just going to be a tower trade, looks like, in the end of the day. Vega going mid, Empire going top. I don't know if Funnick wants to hang around here.
I was going to say they're looking for the Darkseer. Who'll actually get silenced. At the same time, yeah, there's a swap back onto Aloha, bringing him into the river. Lone Druid's going to start to work, and the big fireball above his head means that this man is going to take a little bit of damage, not enough to die though. Now with the cooldown, trying to move forward for the Savage Roar, sending Empire back. They'll still try and pursue, but the Snowball coming through, saving the Death Prophet, buying time for no one to continue to escape. It looks like they'll get out. No one to fall out, so yet the Crypt Swarm and the Shards bringing the Bane fairly low. but no one to die in this fight, and both teams, even though they're throwing 4-5 man at each other, will get themselves out safely.
That first call down missile actually got disjointed by the Bane's Nightmare, so no one took like basically 0 damage, because the second one that came down, it hit him, but he got snowball saved from the flat cannons that were coming out with the alacrity on from the invokers. So again, a little bit sloppy, and unfortunately the Darkseer's vac was only level 2 for that team fight, so it's not quite up to snuff when it comes to really getting people in that combo. But at least Empire, they get the tower, and they didn't lose their mid tower, which is still something.
Yeah, I mean, they do have to be careful the other side of Vega, because Empire, after that defense, you've got a smoke up from the 2 of them. Vega, they're playing very safe this game in the sense that they're getting the clean kills, they're avoiding fully committing to team fights, saving each other, and any time a smoke is up or Empire are off the map, you can see them just hugging the towers here, just making sure that they don't get caught out by Empire.
Yeah, it's really nice movement from Vega. They seem to be playing well in this first game of the series. I think their lineup is really hard to deal with when Empire's timing was actually pretty early. You know, they had the level 6 on the gyro, they have their mech on the Darkseer going, and pretty much right then and there you want to just start fighting, because your combo is, it's not really going to get any stronger when it comes to magic damage. You're just looking for the gyrocopter and the invoker to scale more into the late game. But Vega's lineup scales amazingly well. Like Venjora is great. You're gonna have a lone druid who's gonna eventually build like Assault. You have natural Vlad's carriers, Dazzle. I think their lineup is much more well-rounded when it comes to the mid and the late game. So I feel Empire might have some struggles here if they're not able to have some teamfight impact soon.
And at this point, we can see the Vega not necessarily too fussed about getting involved in a team fight, so it's going to be hard for Empire to find one. And Pasha's built with the Helm of the Dominator on top of the treads, and the Aquila, Lone Druid, 3k gold, so he's very close to that relic. So we're going to see a pretty good timing here on this Lone Druid's Radiance Midas. If he doesn't get caught out by Empire. Yeah, this is a scary start to be going up against if you're Empire.
Well, hopefully they can maybe get a successful smoke gank or a team fight or something going for them. They do have all the tier 1s down on the side of Vega, so that is something that they can use to their advantage here. And their warding is okay. They have like one aggro ward and then one kind of by the river. I guess they want to prioritize the vision near Roshan because they know that that's going to be one of the key points. After the tier 1s are dead, usually Roshan is like the next logical target because you don't have to travel all the way across the map to a tier 2 and put yourself in harm's way to deal damage. But yeah, Empire still looking for their opening. Resolution's got a lot of farm. That's something else too that they have going for them. He's got the Yules already with his Midas, and I assume he's either going to be going for Blink or Boots of Travel, because with this build you kind of run into inventory slot issues sooner or later.
Is under attack.
I mean, if there was anyone as well that you want to rely on an Invoker, I think we saw, was it back in Dream League, Resolution pretty much single-handedly carrying games on Invoker.
Oh god, yeah. That Quaswex Invoker game?
Yeah,
that
he pretty much just wins
insane.
it on it. He picks Empire up and puts him on his back and he just takes him through.
I miss the Quaswex, man. Now it's just all back to Exort all the time.
Well, Empire smoked up again, trying to find a fight. Vega, I've got Pasha here in the neighborhood, but he plays it safe, and I get Vega. No, they just know what's up. They hug the towers. Empire might be willing to dive the towers though, and we can see them moving forward. A bit of an ambitious Sunstruck from Resolution.
I think No Fear got his grip didn't go off. I think that's why he Sunstruck there, because he thought the grip was going to go off from Bane.
Yeah, so I guess it's space created. They get a bit of damage on the tower, but still they're struggling to find that team fight that they do need to really kind of close the gap between themselves and Vega. But let's have a look at the graphs. It's only 2k, so still very early days. Only a slight lead for Vega. But with Empire's lineup, as you keep saying, as it goes into the mid game, they do want to try and make sure that they're ahead, and a team fight's going to be what does that for them.
Yeah, I do still think that Vega's lineup scales, and I have a tendency to underestimate Gyro, because there was a game yesterday we were casting, and I didn't really think that Gyro was going to be able to like transition as well into the late game as he did, and ended up like being one of the biggest factors of the entire match. So maybe I'm not giving the Gyro carry enough credit here, but Vega, they still have time on their side. Let's just say that.
And actually, who's bringing up help was on the couriers? That's someone building us an ether lens. Yeah, I think this is normally what Lohar does, doesn't he? He gets the ether lens, pretty much as his first big item on this this man, and yeah, we have it done now on the Oracle.
It's really good if you look at the False Promise cast range. Like, it's massive.
You're saving people across the map. Yeah, that's big stuff here for Aloha.
And Havo's in the meantime struggling with these ancients. He's like, dear God, why does Ice Frog keep buffing these things? It's actually such a big nerf to Gyro that these are much harder to kill than they used to be. Because you need like 6 flak cannons or 7 now to kill these if you have the kind of the farm that he has.
Yeah, I mean, Gyro's had his ups and downs. He did, of course, balances off. He had that patch, which probably wasn't intended, but do you remember where the ancients used to stack themselves? That was great.
Oh God, was that for like? It was like 1 day, right?
It was.
When
I think it was like. I guess it was just one. I remember it happening. It was the dire ancients just stacked automatically. That was
Gyro win game.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, is this a Roshan smoke here from Vega? Oh, they already
Let's have a look.
Popped the weave. No, they're going for kills. Their ward's gonna scout, I think, the Dazzle. Or the Darkseer.
Oh, Bane, in a bit of trouble. Goodbye, no fear.
Oh my, first they root as well? That's just BM. How are you just gonna get a first hit root on that guy?
Get a pick off, go race, that's the plan for Vega. I mean, they'll still fight Empire.
They could actually fight this though, I think. They have
the Wombo.
They have Greaves. They have Invoker with the right spells invoked to kill somebody immediately. If you can get the Dazzle, that would be really good, because then there's no Grave. Oh man, he didn't go in.
Roshan's falling really quickly though. They need to do something soon. Funnick, is he going to do it? Surging in. Roshan low, but the snowball there didn't have somebody from getting in. They'll get the Aegis. That's going to be the dire Roshan and Aegis onto the Death Prophet. Now the fight will go. The cooldown, the vacuum, the wall, resolutions combo. The damage from Empire is a huge amount, bringing Vega low. Mag, the armor is going to be enough to keep her alive, and no one doing Death Prophet things. Sucking them all up with the Spirit Siphon. Double kill here for the boy. Snowball onto Funnick. They may look to find a 3rd kill here, and they will. Crypt Swarm finishes him off, and no one gets a triple kill on the Death Prophet. Does end up a 3-for-3 trade, but Vega got Roshan, and they still have the Aegis intact on the Death Prophet, so a victory there for the Dire.
It was a really nice fight for sure, but let's not discount Empire. They still managed to take out 2 cores on the side of Vega.
Only
and that was
a
4v5 fight because the Bane didn't get there until the very end. Didn't end up using Fiend's Grip or really anything. He just took a little bit of damage and then had to bail. Also important to note that he used the Sunstrike to scout the pit, so instead of being able to kill the Dazzle before he got Grave off, Solo got his Grave, got a heal or 2 off in the fight, and just managed to do a lot more than he should have been able to had Resolution not thrown that Sunstrike in the first place. Like, I know that he had to see how low the Roshan was, but it was just unfortunate that he couldn't kill the Dazzle because of it. Or at least not kill him fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, even though the gold and the XP swing there was pretty even in terms of the fight, I'm just looking at this Death Prophet and I'm saying, mate, we're 21 minutes in. She's 300 gold away from having an Octarine on top of Phase and Jules Scepter. She's level 15, nearly 16. That's a massive issue for Empire.
Yeah, the ulti at level 3 is terrifying, to say the least. And like you mentioned with the Octarine, more healing to the Spirit Siphon, the Crypt Swarms are going to be coming out like non-stop. I really think this hero is ban-worthy, like first to ban.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think she has like a super big weakness anymore, because it used to be, because the Witchcraft scaling was it was linear, so you got 5% movement speed per point, but that made her laning phase a lot weaker, because she's not nearly as mobile. So you could gank her with relative ease, but in these types of games, where the enemy is just completely ignoring mid, that's like the best game to be a Death Prophet, because you can just shove the wave all you want, you get your ult ready, you get a rune for free every time because you're against Invoker. Like that, it is so hard to deal with Death Prophet with these kind of teams.
And here comes the push from Vega. Now look for the tier 1 top and they'll get it. Fortification comes out, but Empire won't want to defend this one. They'll let this go. And with the Exorcism and the Aegis, they'll probably just look to try and force the side of Empire back. I mean, Empire are grouped up mid lane. They'll look to take a tier 2, and with the Forge Spirits and the Alacrity up Invoker, they will get it. This is going to be a question really of who forces who back.
Vega are actually behind, but they push faster, so they still have to get through the tier 2, but they have Lone Druid and Death Prophet. I think they might actually have to go back here. Yeah, they do have to go back.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So that's a nice move from Empire.
Yeah, melting to less than half health. The push is successful. Empire looks like they will get out safely. So, all in all, yeah, a better bit of momentum there from the side of Empire. Vega did get the tower, but they didn't get any damage done to the tier 3, so Empire coming on top of that little bit of objective gaming.
I thought for a minute they might just pop their glyph and just go like full ham, you know, just try to go inside the base. But I guess because the tier 2s and even the tier 1 mid is still alive on Empire, it's not worth it. If the base was exposed in a bigger way, maybe Vegas stay there and go for 2 sets of racks instead of 1, but because they're unable to push another lane, they just have to get out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they'll look to just push down there, get this tier 1 and just to take over the tier 2 here as well. Very close to level 16 on no one. And he's now, you know, he's got a plate now, he's going for the Shiva's Guard. And here we have, he's just going to use the Exorcism straight up. Make short work here at the tier 2.
God,
and it just melts. Easy single.
This
single
is only
hero
level 2
attacking
ulti,
the
by the
tower.
way.
Yeah, it's going to step up soon.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh, they are still trading. Resolution and Havos managed to secure the tier 2 in the bottom lane. So it is not for nothing, at the very least. And Empire has been moving around the map very nicely for the last couple of minutes, especially given the fact that, as you already mentioned, Death Prophet has Aegis. I think he picked it up before the Lone Druid died. Usually this is the kind of hero that you look to not to carry the Aegis in the first place, because you don't respawn with Exorcism on, right? You die, it disappears, you come back with nothing. It's like playing Dragon Knight, for example, where you just don't really want it. So I'm kind of curious their reasoning as to why no one has it instead of the Lone Druid.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they just actually picked it up because they were in a team fight.
It could have been a pack, yeah. The
that
fact
would make
that there was
the most
potential
sense.
for a steal. There was definitely potential for a steal from Empire. They were very close.
Why is the thing's name Kung Fu Panda?
Why not?
Do you see that?
Yeah.
I just noticed that. I didn't even know you could name it.
Resolution's gonna look for a solo kill on the Lone Druid bet. I can't quite get it.
No invoke. Sad face. If he had like a cold snap or something, he would have been able to kill it, I think. But the invoker timing, that's actually something too that we haven't talked a lot about. Once he hits Aghanim's, which I think is the next item he's buying, because he just bought a Staff of Wizardry, but once he gets that Ags up, it's going to be a lot more damage on that combo every single time he throws it out. Like that Dazzle will 100% die to a combo until he gets like 1400 health. Speaking of
Resolution, yeah, has been caught out a little bit. He's got the backup of Aloha. And put down a sentry, they've got detection. Resolution will be able to get the blink off thanks to the false promise.
That's so broken, actually.
And here we go, TP out, no snowball for a few seconds, and it's going to be successful. Empire very nicely getting themselves out of a pretty deep situation that they were in.
I want to know how that interaction is actually balanced. Like when Ice Frog changed it so that Refraction did the same thing, Blink Dagger, I was just like, that's so annoying, right? When you're playing against something like that, like back when Yules used to not deal damage and you can just blink away, like it's that level of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you said, it's worse than Refraction in the sense that it doesn't matter if you stun the target hero or whatnot, as long as there's an Oracle around, especially once he's got Ether Lens, it's like, alright, you're going to be fine, you're going to be able to blink out. I mean, I think that is probably the strongest aspect of this hero. There's a lot of different bits about him that make him very relevant, but yeah, giving a Blink hero a free escape has to be one of the biggest ones. Yeah,
for sure. It's actually like playing with, if you have Blink, it's like playing with an Earth Spirit, because you just get the get out of jail
saved
free.
every time.
Yeah. And
the cooldown, what's the cooldown on Force Pros? It goes right
30
down.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah. I thought it was low when it gets there.
Now, Aloha Dance is only level 10, but I'm sure he'll make his way towards that level 16 at some point. But again, it's not really been the most action-packed game. I will say, though, that this has a lot of maneuvering and pushing behind it, so even at 27 minutes, there's only 2 outer tier towers remaining, safe lane, respectively, for both teams. And I do believe that no one wants to do something about that. See his bottom lane with that level 3 ulti ready to go.
He's pretty much got the money here for the Shiva's Guard as well.
Okay, this time Empire will have to go back.
Yeah, she's going to be so strong here from Vega.
This tower
Look at this
is
tower.
ripped.
It's gone. Literally just gone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You need to get back Empire and you need to bring the big guns, because there's Death Prophet waltzing into your base with over 40 armor thanks to the weave.
Wow, they're actually gonna go back.
Okay.
Oh, Roshan, that's why. The Aegis faded up on Death Prophet, so they know the Roshan is gonna be up soon. So
yeah,
they
let's
don't
have a look
want
at
to
the
risk
timer. Is it going to be a long one or not? Let's have a look. What's the duration? It's a short one as well. So this could work very nicely for Vegas there, as you said, just backing up. Roshan is definitely going to be the next big fight here from both sides. And, I mean, as we saw before, Empire do have the team fight to take a fight around the Roche pit. But if Exorcism's up, which it will be in 60 seconds, so Roshan is going to be up slightly before Exorcism's available again, but it's just a short window, so it's very likely that they will be able to hang on and no one will have Exorcism for that Roshan fight, which is going to make it pretty hard for Empire to go into, especially as we've seen as well with the Weave. Just the Dazzle Death Prophet combination proving to be very strong this game.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that this patch Dazzle makes it so far into the draft, you know? Like, he was picked, what, 4th by Vega, I want to say?
And he used to be kind of, well,
no,
we were talking a month ago, he was kind of first pick material. Well, as in first 2 picks, you'd get him in the wombo combo. But he certainly slipped off.
Yeah, 5th pick Dazzle this game. Pretty crazy stuff to think about. I mean, he's still insanely good against Gyro, just because, like you mentioned, the Weave is a very powerful tool. You just give armor to everyone. But it's already hard enough for Gyro to deal any damage. Like, look at his items. He has an SNY, drums, and a javelin. Like, yeah, he's making his way towards MKB, which is going to be great in terms of DPS output, but for now,
yeah,
that Death Prophet is so tanky, so is a Lone Druid.
You're just not breaking. Look at this.
Even Venge.
He's got 34 armor, and that's without the Weave.
Yep.
Here we go.
They're just going to go in, I think.
Up and up and up. Look at that. Oh, look at that physical damage resistance, 66. How high are we going to go? 67%. There we go. Oh, 70%. We're going to make it any higher. 72. Yeah, let's keep going. Resisting. Oh, 77% it goes up to. 77% of physical damage just being wrote off. You're looking at a Gyro that's hitting for 160. And suddenly he's only hitting for like less than 30. Here goes the fight. They'll look for the vacuum, but the Yules are not on. He's got the Exorcism up. This is going to be so hard for Empire to fight through. They'll swap in Shoma. Asher Fox the BKB. Her boss has been false promised up. So we're coming in for Shoma the Slayer. Straight on with the stun on stone. Just look at no one. He's literally taking no damage at all. 3 heroes dying on the side of Empire. And I think you just look at the draft and you say, well, Death Prophet got through as the first pick. We're lost, boys.
Honestly, their positioning in that fight was so good. Like, Vega realized the only way they can lose a team fight is if Empire get like a 5-man back wall into a call down. So what do? The bear tanks Roshan, no one pops his ulti, he sits there, and they have to go in. Like, Empire cannot afford to give this away for nothing. So they try to go for a fight. Funnick goes in, he blinds, goes for like a cliff, I guess, on the Death Prophet to maybe try to get the fight going that way. Misses. And as soon as he missed that, the fight's already over. Like, there's actually nothing they could do.
And, oh man, AC on Lone Druid as well.
He already has Vlad's too, so that's plus 10 extra armor for the whole team.
This, just building around the Death Prophet very nicely. It is the perfect Death Prophet lineup, just looking at the heroes that they've got. It works so well. The draft from Vega. We've seen a few games where they've brought something to the game and it just has, it's been all over the place. What they've tried to do hasn't worked, but this game, the Death Prophet plan, I mean, you can't go wrong at the moment in the patch by the looks of it with the Death Prophet plan.
Yeah, I think the way the lanes worked out really hurt Empire. Like, their lack of ability to kill the Death Prophet during the early game. Like, you either need to be able to have comparable pushing and teamfight, which Empire kinda lack in the teamfight department, or you need to just kill the Death Prophet in lane, or pressure her a lot, in order to stop it from getting to this point. But between that and the Lone Druid, it's just, look at this. This is disgusting.
Ras just disappeared. No one. Oh, he is getting low here. They might have a potential of killing him. Oh, wait, no. Apologies. No, they don't. He's Death Prophet. He's fine. And look there. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the help, Nice Rob.
Yeah, they're banning this hero next game, I'm sure.
Gyro's just dead. I think he killed himself after realising that this Death Prophet is currently 804. Has the same amount of farm as a Lone Druid with Radiance and Midas. Now the godlike streak.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And here we have it. Second set of racks going down, and Empire. They're not even going to wonder where it all. It's a lovely vacuum, but that's all it is. Nice multi-man Fortune's End, but it's just aesthetical at the moment. nothing really tickling, and oh, look, this is cute. They're trying to hurt the Death Prophet.
I don't know if it's gonna work out for him, Owen. I really don't.
Ooh, I'm a Death Prophet. Ooh.
It is spooky as fuck in here right now.
Oh, Spirit Siphon, thanks for the help. Oh, that's right. You can try and kill me, but it's not gonna work, boys. Hey, guess what? I've got ultimate up again in 10 seconds time, and I'm gonna destroy your base and your children. Death
Dire's
Prophet.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they just call GG. They realize it's
Yeah.
way too far gone
Literally,
to...
the Death Prophet. I mean, yeah, Death Prophet. That was. I don't think.
Vega Squadron.
The
That was
last
silly.
time I saw someone get DP'd that hard, I enjoyed it a little bit more than Empire did. I can tell you that. That was
Yeah, honestly.
damn. That was
That
some
was
DP
brutal.
action. Absolutely brutal. You'll find that under one of the categories on various educational websites. But wow.